Hey guys, it's Jack the Bear here to talk to you about the best way to prepare a master, and I want to talk to you a little bit about stems and the use of stems in mastering and my approach to the whole thing. When it comes to getting your files together to send in for mastering, one of the things that's really important is to make sure that you identify the files very clearly. Quite often, I'll get a file that just says a title to a song, and that may mean something to you as the producer because it's the project you've been working on. But to me, as someone that gets in literally hundreds of tracks in to master from all around the world, I've had situations where I've actually had songs of the same name come up, and so I need something like not just the name of the song, but also would need the artist or the client name. That really helps me a great deal, and eliminates any kind of confusion. The other thing to do is also make sure that your files are 24-bit. And whatever it is that you're recording and mixing the track at, that is the kind of file I want. So, for example, if you're doing your session at a 24-bit 48K, then the end stereo mix should be 24-bit 48K. There's really no point in trying to upsample something from what you've been using beforehand. It just doesn't make any difference. Same thing also for bit rate. I think bit depth is more important than sample rate. So 96K doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better because the number's bigger, but certainly there is a definite difference when it comes between 24-bit and 16-bit. So make sure that you are running your stuff at 24-bit. A lot of guys now doing 32-bit as well. That's okay, but to be honest, I really haven't heard that much difference myself. Other people could argue differently, and that's fine. But but if you're running your session to 32-bit, just keep it there. The other thing that people do inadvertently is while they're mixing, will put limiting or loudness stuff on their mixes because that's the way they want to hear them out. They want to get some kind of feeling of representation of what it would sound like after it's been mastered, and everyone equates loudness to mastering. And I get that, and I know that sometimes people forget it on. So please just make sure that if you mix, then put something on the end of your chain, take it off. If it is actually a part of the sound that you're creating that needs to have that, then by all means leave it on, but I still need to have headroom. The important thing for me is I have some kind of headroom. Now, some people argue there's a certain number that needs to be. I don't think there's any particular number, just so long as when you see the file on screen, it doesn't look like a block of cheese. If it's, so long as you've got some daylight and the tops of the transients have not been completely, mangled, then it's going to be okay as far as I'm concerned. Now, a little bit about stems. It's very popular these days for people to master from stems. A lot of people mix from stems. I understand that there is some advantages to being able to, after a mix session, sort of get into the mix a little bit more, do a little bit of final tweaking, and that's great. And I can see that there certainly are advantages to that. Personally, myself, I'm not a great fan of it. The reason I'm not so much of a fan is because even if you're working on a stereo instrumental track and a vocal, it becomes a quasi-mix session. And then that puts pressure on someone like myself to then start making production decisions, which really is not my bag. I'm here to frame your picture, not repaint it. And while I understand why you might think, you've got better monitoring, a better room, you got good ears, etc., and all that may be true, but in the context of me mastering your record, when I start getting into trying to mix it and then getting into the minutiae of volume rides on a vocal and stuff like that, what will happen is exactly what's happened to you, which is you listen to a track over and over, you start losing objectivity on it, and then if I start losing objectivity, then it defeats the purpose of why you would send something to a mastering engineer in the first place. So I would ask that if you are in a situation where you don't quite feel that you're happy or confident in the level of a certain aspect of your mix, let's say, for example, we're talking about a vocal level, okay? Then if you think somehow you got a gut feeling, maybe this vocal level may be a little low, then print another version with a vocal up, or maybe the other way around. Could be you think it's a bit too loud, then do one with a vocal level down, and send in 2 or 3 versions of a mix, and then let the engineer have a listen to them, and then, after having dialogue with them, you could probably make a better decision based on being able to at least compare these things and make a better informed choice. That's the way I prefer to do it. Other engineers do it differently, and you know what? They do it with great results, with great success. I'm not here to say to you that that is a shit way of doing it or that it's completely wrong. I'm just explaining to you why I prefer not to do it that way, and it seems to work better for me. But it's a personal thing. So if you want to consider the stems route, maybe you might want to consider doing some other versions of that mix with different variations, and make sure you mark them clearly as well. So that's all I got for you right now. So have yourselves a good one. If you have any further questions, you can contact me at mastering@jackthebear.com.au. You can also get me on Facebook at Tony Jack the Bear Mance, and I'll be looking forward to answering any further questions. So let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about. I'll be very happy to share my thoughts and feelings about them. So I'm off. So love you fuckers. Please be nice to each other, but more importantly, be nice to yourselves. All right, see ya.